All right, I'm ready.
Okay, we're gonna mess this up. I know it.
So bad.
Okay, ready and go. Hey YouTube, I'm Mrs. Dr. Lupo.
And I'm Sam. And today we are talking about the climate of streaming with Calamity Darling and my lawyer friend.
We've had a lot of interesting things happening in the streaming world, especially on Twitch, and we just wanted to kind of bring a little bit more of that to light and our opinions on it. I know it can be a little bit of a sensitive subject, so just when you're going through and watching, keep that in mind that we're all here just to make the streaming community better in the end. But if you want to see more live content every Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific on Twitch.
Or if you want to see more magical stuff over here, be sure to like and subscribe.
Sam, do you want to introduce our two guests?
Abso-friggin-lutely. Bring it on, Calamity Darling, who is one of my friends that I had the absolute pleasure of meeting from our fellow like asexual creators whenever we were playing games together, and I fell in love with Calam. I love their personality so much. Would you like to share your pronouns and a little bit about you and your stream?
Sure thing. Hi, I'm Calamity. My pronouns are she, they. My stream is a wonderful pirate ship of chaos and wholesomeness. We have so much fun over there. I like to play a lot of like RPGs, MMOs. I'm very big on story because I'm also a game developer, early career game developer, who has a big concentration in like narrative design and producing. That kind of all comes together, as well as discussions about like mental health and just inclusivity and diversity in the gaming spaces. So yeah, that's kind of what like my space of the internet's all about.
Love that space of the internet. And next, we have Noah, my lawyer friend. Noah is someone who has been very prevalent in the industry, especially when it comes to talking about the legal side with as much as he can legally.
Legally. Allegedly.
Legally, allegedly. Um, so you can definitely get a lot of good information from Noah. But Noah, would you like to introduce yourself, your pronouns, and what you're about?
Hi, yeah, I'm Noah. I'm a lawyer, but I'm a cool lawyer. My pronouns are he, him. They, them doesn't offend me at all. Yeah, I do legal stuff. I represent a lot of content creators. I do some work with indie devs and helping them find publishers for their games. But my primary focus is on helping the gaming community as a whole. And so through that, one of the big places that there's not a lot of help currently is in the content creator space with content
Mm.
creator rights and how to protect themselves. So that's what I focus on. And that's why I'm here today.
Welcome here today. So, yeah, as we had already told y'all, we're basically going to be talking about things that are really going on in the specifically Twitch universe, but also branching out to what's happening amongst many different platforms for content creation. There is a hashtag that has been going around for, has it been a couple weeks now or a month? I can't quite
I feel
remember.
like it's been a few weeks.
It's
Yeah.
been
It's
there for a
new.
minute, but
It's popped up like over it's been around for about a year actually. It's just that it really has gotten steam in the last few
that's
weeks.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because there have been a lot of things happening on Twitch in many aspects. Um, so we're gonna touch on a lot of that. But yeah, there's honestly been a lot of hate rates that have been the most prevalent against people of color and marginalized creators. So Kalam, I know that you have spoken up on this a bit. Do you want to explain what's going on? Because I believe that you have dealt with this as well, right?
So actually, interestingly enough, I haven't dealt with like the more recent stuff. I
Okay.
had that stuff happen like a few months ago.
Ugh.
Because while it's really big right now and a lot of people are being actively targeted right now, this is not a new issue. This is something that has been happening for years and years. It's just blowing up right now because there are being very targeted and direct attacks against specific people, especially Black and queer creators. So it's been really bad, especially this past month. But basically, um, there's an issue with hate raids where people will, I guess, create multiple accounts and just bombard Black and queer creators with just hateful, horrible messages. I like wouldn't even feel comfortable repeating some of them because
Yeah.
they're
No need
that
to.
terrible.
Yeah.
So it's a big problem that's been around, like I said, for a while, but right now it's like it really feels like there's somebody out there who is really orchestrating this and attacking specific people, as well as just looking, I think, through the tags and trying to attack marginalized creators in this way. And there's also issues with follow botting, which is another big thing going on right now, where they'll just spam creators with a bunch of followers and it really messes up their metrics and stuff. So there's a lot going on. It's been a mess.
Sucks that there even has to be anything going on. Like, it should be our safe space.
Mhm.
So Twitch obviously can do something about it. Like
Yeah.
it's not a question of what can Twitch do. It's a question of what is Twitch going to do. Noah, do you have any ideas or suggestions that, because obviously Twitch is a business, they have hierarchies, they have steps that they need to go through in order to do things. There is nobody that is really there other than maybe Emmett Shear that can just flip a switch, right?
Right. And so Twitch has been examining this problem for a while, and which is why it's kind of a shame that they still haven't done anything about it. Twitch definitely can do stuff about it. For example, they can make it so that it's not as easy to create massive amounts of accounts that have 16 digits behind them, for example. Or they can, for example, make it so that you can have a tool where you can set, I only can be rated from specific people, or you have to, have a basic captcha basically to raid into somebody to prove that you're not just a bot. Um, the problem is that Twitch hasn't done anything, and because of that, the hate raids have gotten to the point where it's like hate raid as a service almost. There are websites out there and Discords out there where people who are interested in conducting a hate raid against anyone can just join the Discord and say, "Hey, here's $100. Let me go hate raid this person." And Twitch isn't reacting to that. Twitch isn't. Well, they're attempting to, but they don't know what to do. And frankly, Twitch doesn't want to overdo it because if they throw too much cash at it, then it's going to hurt their bottom line. What Twitch needs to do right now is show that they care about content creators instead of caring about the bottom line. Because if you respect the people that are on your platform, your bottom line will be there. What they could do to help stop this is actually take a case to court or support a creator in taking a case to court. And they're more than willing to do it for DMCA. I don't understand why they wouldn't do it here.
Right. And I mean, we all know that Twitch's bottom line is very, very bottom right now. They don't have a lot of money to spare, but
No.
I would really hope that they would pick and choose what is more important for the time being. I mean, even people are in here saying that Summit got a hate raid last night. And so you mentioned the Discord where you can go and hire. That's been a thing for a lot of things for a long time. You can go hire people to swat people.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're so good that you can't trace them. We know from a personal experience that you can't trace these people. And it's going to be the same thing with these hate raids too, is that they're going to have so many tools. They're so far ahead of Twitch that we're never going to find them. So it literally has to be a thing where Twitch needs to put their foot down and be dad for a moment and really piss some people off in order to keep everybody else.
Yeah, Twitch has the portcullis that they can just slam down. And it won't be comfortable, but at the same time, if it's harder to remain anonymous on Twitch and to create multiple accounts and to create hundreds of accounts to come in and raid people, especially targeted acts of hatred, which is literally what we're talking about here, then they'll save the platform. Otherwise, Twitch is going to become a live 4chan.
I've been hate rated by 4chan before on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah, back when I first started, I was playing GTA 5, and then Keemstar has hate rated me once.
Don't get me
years
started
ago
on
as
Keem.
well.
That's a
The
whole
king
nother
of
show.
them.
But we probably shouldn't
But-
talk too loud, otherwise Keem's gonna come down on us and
Yeah.
do everything he
You
can
know
in
what?
his
Give us
Discord.
viewers.
Yeah, drama
That
alert.
K-Star person.
Jeez.
So, oh my gosh.
So
there
what tools do we think that Twitch can provide?
yeah. I mean, obviously, we think that a CAPTCHA could be something. People
Mhm.
have wanted IP bans, but it's so easy to get around an IP ban with a VPN and
Right.
things
Yeah.
like that. Like, there's easy avenues for people to work around it if they want to do it enough. And these people are usually smart enough already to get through technology that that's not enough,
Yeah.
in
Email
my opinion.
verification is a minimum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely should be able to set up like a limit of who can raid you. I know there's an option to where only people that follow you or you follow or whatever can raid you, but that's the only
Mhm.
thing. Make it an account time as well, like to where you can set it to maybe accounts after a day can then raid into you or even comment in your chat because a lot of them are brand new baby accounts.
Maybe
Yeah.
even like you have to be an affiliate or a partner to conduct raids.
I
Yeah,
I mean, I know that's kind of
that's a little crummy.
taking
Yeah, in a
away
sense.
something from new streamers to grow. But if
right.
we're
Yeah.
talking about like what's an ultimate thing that these bots can't do is reach affiliate status.
Well,
Yeah.
I've seen several folks talking about things that they're currently undertaking to fight this. Like I remember T Spades on Twitter, I am Brandon on Twitter. They had lists of things to do, but like Calamity, let me ask you, what have you seen be effective? Because obviously, dealing with this, is there something you've seen that has been effective at all?
Yeah, there's actually been a lot of like third party people, just people who want to help, who have been able to find ways to um to do this. Like Commander Root has come up with tools and has been actively posting about things that can be done. Like having like known list of bots that you can go and then ban. Um, there's also the Twitter name is blanking on me right now. I think
Yeah.
it's Stop Hate Raids. But there is an active like Twitter account that is actively trying to like share tools and resources and help to fight against this. And they are also calling like on Twitch to do something because if we can find all these people who are just people who want to help, why can't Twitch, with their power and their
Yeah.
abilities help as well? It's just frustrating. But there have been people who are trying to share, especially with smaller creators, because this isn't just this started affecting smaller creators. So they don't have, a stream deck where they can just press a button and it'll, put it on follower only mode or, whatever.
I don't even have that.
Yeah, like and,
My mods do it. I don't even have that.
yeah, right, like they don't know, they're just coming into this space, and to be actively attacked for their identities is so frustrating. But anyway, I could go off about that.
It's
But there are a lot of
disgusting.
third party people who are trying to help and Stop Hate Raids. I think that's a Twitter account. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry.
I looked
As
that one
well
up and
as
that's
like
not it.
Commander
So
Root and who Noah mentioned, all are attempting to help and just spread the word about tools that Twitch does have, which can kind of help, but
Yeah.
obviously aren't doing enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that there's, words that you can ban,
Hmm.
but the fact that you have to go in and ban, like, not only one word, but all of their variations, whether it
Oh
be with,
yeah.
like, numbers or symbols or things like that, because people are going to find a way.
that's
They
Hmm.
just so
want
much
to
effort to
make
ask a
you feel
creator to
bad.
do.
Yeah.
It is, and that's why a lot of people I've seen on Twitter have been asking them to, like, "Hey, up your system to notice these words that are being written in like a code that you know what it is. It's just not that exact word."
On that note, all of that is reactive. Like that is the broadcaster already in a situation trying to prevent something that's already happening. And while hitting, the commonly accepted thing to do here is to follower only mode, which is just slash followers slash subscriber, and then slash emote slash clear to clear chat as a last ditch effort, that kind of stuff. That
Mhm.
is all a slapping a band-aid on a broken dam at that point. What Twitch needs to give is proactive, prophylactic steps that you can take to protect your stream so that this just doesn't happen. So the streamer doesn't have to go through the literal trauma of this. Because this is this kind of stuff. I've been talking to friends and clients who are being directly attacked by hate raids, even this past week. And the most saddest thing that I've heard so far is, I don't care what happens to me as long as they don't hit my kids. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have a streamer have to worry about their literal physical safety and then realize that they are not as important as the people in their homes.
That's what the first thing that happened when Ben and I were swatted. I mean, I will have a gun pointed in my face as many times as I need to, as long as Charlie never has to deal with that. And thankfully, he was so little that he was asleep every single time. It was very lucky that 6 times in a row he just happened to be asleep every single time. And it's scary that if they're coming for you, are they going to go find your parents next?
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna find out where your kids are? Are they gonna find your family? Like, we're encouraging all of our family to hide themselves too, no matter where they are. I mean, because it definitely is something that we didn't think was gonna be an issue when Ben started streaming. But I can only imagine for the people that don't have the access to those resources to protect themselves, or even the knowledge. A lot of people don't have the knowledge of what they need to do in order to protect their identity. And I feel like that should be just like a hands down thing that Twitch needs to, or any streaming service needs to be like, hey, before you start this, here's some things to consider just in case.
I think that'd be a nice tool to have. Like, as soon as you sign up to stream, or you do your first stream, they can send like an email like, hey, play by play of things that could help protect you better.
Thanks for joining the streaming community. Here are a few things to consider. And then just, even if it's the stupid things of like, don't say your first name, don't whatever.
Don't point out camera outside your window. Noah and I have talked about this. You know, there are ways to protect yourself, but a lot of it you don't know right off the bat unless you go through it, and you learn by going through it. And that's the frustrating part. And now these creators, especially our marginalized creators, are going through it even worse.
Yeah.
And it's not fair, and it's not helpful that Twitch is not doing something proactive. Like right now, we're speaking up on the matter more than we're working on it. We hear you. It's like, no. We don't want you to hear us. We want you to fix it and help us.
Yeah. So I have a question. Then this is off our list here. Do you think, because how fast did it take for Twitch to create hot tubs, pools, and beaches? Do you think
long.
that if this was happening to larger creators, that they would be reacting quicker? Or is that just me kind of like playing devil's advocate here?
I think that they would react quicker.
I think
their
that
money.
I think they would too, and I don't want to wish this on anybody. But I mean, Calamity, can you think of any massive streamers besides Summit that have been hit like this?
I saw in chat someone said Big Cheese, and I feel like Big Cheese is a fairly large creator.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And I didn't see that. Someone in chat had said it, so I haven't. We're gonna look it up because I love me some Big Cheese. That I would just like.
BC is absolutely one of the best.
One of the kindest people ever.
I'm skimming really quick, so strike that until I find out. But I just saw someone in chat mention it, so now I'm gonna go look and make sure.
That's the thing, is like I actually think we're gonna see a shift towards it also being the quote unquote big streamers. Right now it's targeted hatred. What they haven't necessarily done yet is target just communities and making people feel unsafe in communities. And I'm worried that that's what's next. And obviously, they're targeting tags right now because they think they can do the most damage. Well, maybe we find out a way around that. Maybe we stop using those tags, which would be horrible, but because we wouldn't be able to find those.
That's a punishment on the creator. Yeah,
it is,
and that's not okay. We also had mentioned, like, with the bigger creators and stuff, we would probably see things happen quickly because it is their money. But another thing that has been happening within the Twitch universe is how much of our revenue they take. A 50% cut is abhorrent, honestly. Like,
It's a lot.
some people get 70/30. I'm not gonna lie, I get 70/30, but it wasn't until I reached, like, a certain amount of paid subs, which is stupid.
Mhm.
I feel like it should be offered that way immediately, but if it came to that, do y'all think that Twitch could not afford it anymore? Or do you think people would want to subscribe to their creators more because they know, like, they're actually benefiting off the money more? Because there's a lot of platforms coming out. I know FanHouse is one of them
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
I have been using because the pay cut is 10%. They
Yeah.
they take 10% and I get 90% of what I make. And I am enjoying so much more making content over there, knowing I'm making money the way that I feel like I should be.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Here's the
it's
thing:
just
is that someone in chat said Twitch can 100% afford to pay creators who just choose
I
not
think
to.
they can.
They
I think they
can
can.
afford it.
Yeah.
To Amazon, Twitch is a black hole.
Yeah.
The things that people can do so Twitch can pay their creators more, run ads. That's it.
Yep.
That's the only thing that
Yeah.
creators can do to help Twitch get out of the black hole. But the thing is that Twitch, their ad pool isn't even 100%. According to most contracts with these advertisers, if you, let's say there's 10 ads and in the first hour you run through all 10 ads. The second hour you're pulling the same 10 ads, you're not getting the same ad revenue cut because those advertisers are like, well, you're going to oversaturate us and then people are not going to like our ads and they're not going to like our product. You need to spread us out. So if they're running 60 or 70% full in their ad pool, you're not getting all of your ad revenue cut because you're running the same ad over and over again. But then
Yeah.
people say ads deter viewers. That's why people like
Yep.
Netflix so much, is because you don't have ads. That's why people pay for Hulu. That's why XYZ traditional media
I don't
TV
know,
is
Hulu
not
has
a
added a
thing
lot of
anymore.
ads, and I pay for Hulu.
Yeah.
I,
So
like,
people
pay
are
the
saying, yeah,
highest thing, and I still get
ads are gonna make people
Huh.
go away. But it's either Twitch goes away or you watch ads. Twitch started this whole entire process being like, this is a free service, yada 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 yada. Businesses cannot run free forever.
Right.
So when it comes down to money, I really have to straddle the line here, because from somebody that my parents have only owned their own businesses my whole entire life, I've owned multiple businesses, and I know how that works. Is if we want Twitch to live, we have to run ads.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. And then once Twitch is in the black, in the red, which one is it?
In the black. You want them.
Black.
You want them
There
in
we
the
go.
black.
Red's bad.
Yeah.
In the black, because that's on the chart. Once Twitch is in the black again, then maybe they can pay more money. But Amazon's not giving them any more money,
No.
because they're probably thinking right now this was a real bad idea, because they look at places like YouTube, or they
Mhm.
look at places like Facebook. They're rolling in dough. Google is so happy with YouTube right now because they're just rolling in money over there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Clam, do you have any?
Like, I'm not the most, like, number crunchy person ever. You know, I guess, like, from my standpoint, it's all, wouldn't you want to support your creators in a way that's going to make them bring more people in, that's going to make them, want to, I guess, and I don't know if advocate's the right word, but they want to be on your platform. They are encouraged. They feel like you're protecting them. They feel like you're there for them, like not just the big creators, because honestly, smaller creators do not feel like they are cared about at all, especially marginalized ones.
Mhm.
yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's just frustrating
Yeah.
because I don't have the answers, but I'm also not a business. Like, well, I'm like my own
I was
business,
about
but
to say,
I'm not
you're a business.
Twitch. Yeah, exactly.
Lawyer.
Like, I'm not Twitch, I guess.
Right.
Like, I feel like they should have, like, they're providing a service for people to be able to stream and then bring in, more revenue through that. So in my mind, you would want to be there for the creators that you're, I guess, servicing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I like went off on a
Yeah.
thing there, but
No,
I
you're
guess what I'm trying
100%
to say, like,
correct.
Yeah.
You would
Your
want
creator should be
want
first.
your technical employer
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, Twitch is not our employer, but
Independent
we are
contract.
contracted
Yeah.
Yeah.
with them. But they are providing a service to us, and we are providing a service to them. So you would want that relationship to skew in favor of the person that's bringing you the content.
Exactly.
You would want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, especially with the climate. The climate is the word of the day, especially with the climate of the large creators, and that is something that I unfortunately am in that group with my husband, right? I can speak more to that side than I can speak to the other side, and the amount of things and money and stuff like that they throw at these large creators is a lot. But that's what's been set as the standard now. And we have to remember that nobody's really retired from this space just yet. We don't know. I keep talking to Ben, like Ben and Ninja and Tim and Summit, Shroud, all those guys, Jack and Valkyrie, Pokemon. You can just list 50 people right off the
That's
top
a
of your
great
head.
Among Us lobby.
Yes.
Um,
Those people, we're technically like the seniors that just keep not graduating from high school yet because we're getting multiple degrees. We've been in school so long, kind of thing. Nobody has taken the leap of retirement yet.
Right.
So right now, they've all set the standard of pulling in so many viewers and stuff like that, that these businesses like Twitch are basically pandering to them because right now they think that they're the shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
And if you see, Twitch investing in, obviously Twitch invests in their large creators. We don't need to dance around that.
Yeah.
But what I would love to see, and this ties back into the hate rate conversation, is I would love to see Twitch recognizing that in a world that has seen many layoffs due to insane global pandemic, they are a viable way for people to make money, and they need to invest in tools to allow to help people do that. So
Yeah.
taking the 50% cut is, Twitch needs to keep the lights on. Totally get that. And right now, they're definitely not making money. Like Sam said, I'll let you guys figure that one out. But I do think that what they could do is recognize, hey, we need to find a way to curtail, hatred and stuff on our platform, because that's an investment in the next class of massive creators. Like you see BC, like he's on his way if he's not there yet. And investing in tools that make them feel safe is super important. I mean, this pandemic has disproportionately, as most horrible things do, disproportionately affected people of color and marginalized creators across the board. And so you see people that have been laid off from jobs turning to Twitch as a way to make revenue while they try and figure out what's next in their lives. They get a little bit of success, and now hate raids are driving them off the platform. Like, if that's not evidence of systemic racism, I don't know what it is. So I think that Twitch finding a way to curtail that and creating tools and revenue splits that make sense for everybody, instead of just continuing to reinvest in the top, would be super important.
Yeah.
I would hope to see, especially with all these hate raids, I would hope that, we could benefit off it by paying for how many views we get. The same as it does with like YouTube videos. You get paid off of views a lot of times. And why can't we have that? Like, why do we have to fully rely 100% on the generosity of our communities? Because a lot of times that'll start pushing community members away because then they feel like they have to. And that's not fair. And then it makes the creator feel like there's a lot of weight on their shoulders to keep pushing and pushing and pushing in ways that aren't comfortable, but you need to keep your lights on, right?
Yeah.
So if they could implement other avenues for us to be able to make money outside of just ads, like pushing ads, because that pushes people away.
Right.
You mentioned, Calamity mentioned earlier about third parties coming in and coming up with these resources for for everybody to learn and to use and stuff like that, which kind of ties into Sam, your request of what other resources are there out there for you to create money. We have third parties that are out there that are ready and willing to take your content and take everybody else's money and give it back to you.
Yes.
You mentioned Fan House. There's OnlyFans. There's people that are breaking their partnership agreements so that way they can stream on multiple platforms to potentially earn more.
Patreon's still a thing too.
Was that?
Patreon, coffee.
Yeah, Patreon.
Patreon's still around.
Oh
Everybody,
yeah,
it's so funny. I've seen
Patreon.
Patreon just
People
like take a
are
nosedive.
Coffee. People directly
Mhm.
donate to PayPal's or Venmo or things like that to
Yeah,
go
but PayPal has a
around.
really high
They
high
do,
percentage. So like, isn't
but
Venmo
yeah.
lower?
Venmo's owned by PayPal, though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of
And
one
all
of
of it
them
is
Like
is
tax
Cash
lower.
reportable.
App and yeah.
Is it maybe Cash App? I don't know. One of
I
them
don't
is lower
know.
than what PayPal is. I can't remember which
Yeah.
one. But there's
Yeah.
these third parties that people are now having to go through and create more content.
Mhm.
Like Sam, I don't know about your fan house, but are you doing more work to create that content than you were when you were just streaming?
I would say no. It's actually content that I create all the time that I've never had a place to post because Twitter, you don't want to convolute it because then
Mhm.
sponsorships will see things and are like, that's a lot that you're posting. On Instagram, I have specific curated content or pictures that I have to post a certain way. And stories can become overwhelming where people are just tapping through them. However, Fan House, I can be upfront and like, this is what you're gonna get. Do you want to pay for it? And people will, and in a sense that you feel like you're cultivating a community surrounding things that you enjoy doing that you're not able to do in other places. I'm not going to lie, it's really nice to be able to post content that I enjoy making that's not live because then I can spend more time with my family. The fact that I have to push so hard every single day to stream a certain amount of hours to make sure I make a little bit to take care of my family is frustrating.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's why a lot of content creators deal with severe mental health depletion because we are constantly on. It's constantly, hi, welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here when secretly you just want to go rest. Sometimes you want to lay down, you want to take a nap, you want to take a bath. You don't want to put makeup on because if you don't wear makeup, people will come in and be like, well, you look so tired today. And I'm like, no, I'm not tired. I just don't have on face makeup, my guy. Like I could go on. So if you're a creator, Fan House is nice.
Yeah. I recently kind of have started branching out into other avenues, especially with everything going on with Twitch. And just to like kind of talk back to what we were kind of speaking on before, like I'm one of those people who lost my job due to the pandemic. And this was just something I kind of turned to while I was looking for something else. And that something else became like game dev and stuff. But
Mhm.
there's such a gap between like creators coming on to like smaller creators and then like the people who are actually like using it as steady income and steady support, like that gap is so big that there's almost like no hope, and the
Yeah.
hope, you can literally see it just depleting, and it's so sad. So that's why people are going to these third party things. And for, I guess, smaller creators who aren't as used to, who maybe don't like have the flow yet of having just backlogs of content that they can like keep putting on things like Fan House and Kofi. Like for me, I have had to think of more to do. Fortunately, I'm not like a selfies person. That's something I'm kind of learning to do. But
Yes, stunning, baby.
I'm not really either.
stop it. But it's, I think like for some people it would be easy. I don't know. We shouldn't have to depend on these third parties, as wonderful as they are. And I think that if Twitch isn't careful, as they grow, because like even Fan House is teasing like streaming.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well,
That's
hey,
nice.
hey.
Well, I can't stream on
hello.
there, but
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I cannot.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You
But
can
that's gonna
when
make
a
smaller
certain date comes
creators
up and then
go,
you type a
"Oh."
little email that says, hey.
Yeah. Well, and on that note, with what Calamity was saying, like I'm seeing folks streaming on Reddit and just putting up like
What?
in the oh yeah, people stream
Reddit
on
is
Reddit.
streaming?
Yeah, Reddit is
Hmm.
streaming. And people put
Reddit
up
has
behind them.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reddit is the Tatooine sometimes of the internet, but it's
Stop.
also can be the Coruscant nerd. Um, anyway, so they just put up behind them like, hey, here's my Venmo, here's my Ko-fi, here's my fan house,
Mhm.
etc. And people get like random people get 5,000 concurrents. It's insane.
The dream. What's it
Yeah,
like?
I don't know.
Right.
I will say though that what Twitch does better than other platforms right now is a platform for charity streaming, which doesn't help
Mm.
the content creators directly, but that is one thing that I think Twitch does have going for it.
Yeah. Which is hard because as much as a lot of us really want to raise for charity, we can't financially take that punch. It sucks.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the amount of emails a lot of creators, myself included, get that are asking, like, hey, will you raise for this during this time? And it's like, my heart wants to say
It's
yes,
heartbreaking.
but I
A
Yeah.
cannot.
lot.
I have to take
Absolutely.
on very little charity because I'm a charity right now.
Yeah.
We got to
You
the
gotta
point
focus on paying your
that
bills.
Ben was so depressed having to hear everybody's stories about their charities, and we're having to say no, that he has just said, he gave me a list. He's like, these are the charities that I am willing to entertain the idea of doing stuff for. Don't tell me about anybody else. And I just have to go through and be like, sorry, unfortunately, right now our charity calendar is booked for the year. That is in. They're like, all right, we'll contact you next year. And I just don't want to flat out be like, we can't help you, but there are millions of people out there who can.
There are other people.
And
I mean,
that's Ben's number one thing is with charity, super side tangent, is that the best thing about charity is that there are so many people out there willing to do it. You just have to find the right person that meshes with your group. And that's took a lot of pressure off of him to not feel like he has to do a charity for everybody. Because otherwise that man would. And then we would be doing nothing but charity streams.
yeah, and it is kind of a side tangent. I'm sorry to have diverted us on this
No,
path, but
go.
Ben is Ben's the reason I fundraise for charity because I'm looking at Sam said it, if you fundraise all the time, then who's going to pay your bills?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's an unfortunate thing to have to think, which is why I being a lawyer who is fortunate enough not to have to rely on chat to pay my bills to, I feel I have an obligation to stream for charity because
Mhm.
I have the ability to do it and I can support my friends doing it too. So
Yeah, there's so many people
Yeah.
that will email us and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to quit my job and become a full-time streamer." And we're like, "Don't. Don't do that unless it's like your last resort." Right?
Yeah.
Like Calamity, like you said, like, yeah, you lost your job. You needed something. You
I needed
streamed.
something.
mhm.
And I was actively looking for jobs as I was
Oh.
streaming. Like I
Yeah.
was actively, unfortunately, the climate of the world it was really hard to get jobs. I got like shady stuff. I got contracts that didn't last very long.
Right.
Don't quit your job. Like PSA, don't quit your job to become a streamer. I'm not saying don't be a streamer. I'm not saying like don't be a charity streamer because that's something that really inspired me is seeing a lot of creators who did charity streams, and that's why I really wanted to do that. And I did, but there did come that point where I was like, okay, I am seeing that I'm not getting the support, and that really sucks to have to think about. Like
Mhm.
I hate having to go, oh, well, now I have to stop helping other people who are in need because now I am in need. And that balance is so stressful.
Once you commit yourself to be a charity streamer, you can't be anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the we pigeonholed ourselves into that. So anytime that we do anything that we treat ourselves to whatever, we get told, well, why didn't you just give that money away and stuff like that. But like you said, like you can't be expected to give all of your money away the moment that you have enough money. Like you gotta plan for things. People don't know that we help other people and all that kind of stuff. And I just, somebody in chat said, couldn't Amazon or Twitch fund the charities and use it as a tax write-off so the streamer doesn't have to personally bear the financial burden? I don't think the community would take that. I don't think that they would take that as good enough. Also, Amazon is not very interested in funding charity stuff right now. unless you are the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. Maybe she needs to fund or be like the charity coordinator for Amazon.
She's going to create her own thing, and it's going to be called exwife.tv.
Yes. Come on, let's do that. I will stream there.
Wait, that has an implication behind it. Let's both go. Sorry, Ben and Eric.
Oh no.
We're going
Oh
to
my God.
ex-wife.
I mean, it's a
Like,
very
this is how you
intriguing
tell it?
name. People are gonna go just to try to figure out what the heck it is about. Ex-wives? Ooh.
Hey.
Oh
Suddenly
Oh,
interested.
y'all are stealing all the views. Y'all are just stealing-
Exactly.
Let's
Damn
hear
ex
it,
wife
Mark.
stealing all of you.
Hey, Ben's not streaming today. We are stealing the views.
We are. I said that as we were posting in Discord. So, hi everybody. If you're from Ben's Discord, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I'm not trying to steal all his viewers.
I am.
You are. Yes. Go follow Sam. Go follow Calamity Darling, and go follow my lawyer friend Noah here. I'm trying to see. We covered a lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
There's one that on our list that I would love to dive into.
Please tell us which one it is.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
go for it.
As we've all seen, when people trying to diversify their streams and whatnot, and Sam alluded to it earlier, I'll let you figure out which one. I'm going to say that every time. Recently, several partnered streamers dissolved their partnerships with Twitch because of the pay cut and that they can't stream anywhere else. And so it's limited their revenue, limited their outreach. And so I actually do think, and obviously I'm not saying this with any personal knowledge about anything, so don't infer anything here. I represent a lot of creators, but I do think that we're going to see like a platform wars 2, like World War II, except platform wars 2, where now Mixer's out of the picture. People are doing well on YouTube. People are on Facebook. People are, and you see other revenue sources. And I'm sorry, I can't say it with a straight face. But YouTube is doing great. And so I think that we're going to see a lot of streamers dissolve their partnership with Twitch. And because frankly, I've seen some streamers dissolve their partnership with Twitch, go to YouTube and come back and get affiliate on Twitch and just co-stream to the two of them, which technically isn't allowed under the affiliate agreement, but they do it anyways. And Twitch doesn't care because they're an affiliate at that point. I'm not saying go breach your contracts, guys. That's not legal advice. But yeah, I think that we're going to see people jumping ship. No.
Got it.
So there's a question real
Right,
quick, Noah.
yeah.
If you dissolve your contract, do you get kicked off Twitch?
Mm-hmm. No, you still have an account. Unless if Twitch dissolves your contract and bans you, you're kicked off Twitch.
If you're a partner, you lose your check mark.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
you lose your check mark, and that all your subs will get cut, and you could get affiliate back sometimes. So, but yeah, no, you're not kicked off Twitch. They are fine for you being a viewer, but the minute you breach your partnership agreement, they'll go after you. In fact, some of the contracts say that if you dissolve your partnership before a renewal, they're going to claw back the previous 90 days of revenue. So be aware of that.
A lot of people that jumped to Mixer, and then when Mixer dissolved and they came back, they left without letting Twitch know as a partner, and their partnership got removed. They had to fight for partnership. They had to wait until their contract was supposed to be expired and then reapply for partnership, because that's all legal. It's all in the contract. Everyone was hating on Twitch, but it was 100% people were not reading their contract. And places put stuff like that in their contracts so they don't get kicked in the butt, right?
Yeah, and contracts are always changing. So whenever they're telling you you're going to re-up your contract, read the changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
sure
when
you're
you
okay with the changes.
auto renew, are they allowed to slip stuff in there?
Yeah, they totally can. In fact, 97% of streamers on Twitch now that were streaming in 2018 accepted a new partnership agreement without knowing it when they launched the new Twitch partnership dashboard in 2018.
Wow.
What was it?
Oh, it was a massive change. They changed, and I can talk about this generally. I can't talk about specifics. But they changed, for example, before they had said if you create gaming content on Twitch, then it's exclusive to Twitch, but you could do just chatting on other platforms. One of the updates that they rolled out between 2015 and 2018, most people got it in 2018, says that any audiovisual content you create on Twitch must first be on Twitch and can't be anywhere else as a VOD for 24 hours. That includes going live on Instagram and TikTok.
Interesting. Yeah, wait till people start using Instagram and TikTok to fully stream more than just chatting type stuff. I bet you
With
someone will figure it out.
There are
with
some TikTok streamers that already do,
That do
like, a
gaming and
lot,
stuff.
and they get
Yeah.
hella viewership, yeah.
I've
Mhm.
Crazy.
actually put carve outs in for a lot of my clients that say, we contact Twitch and say, hey, we want to do streams on TikTok and Instagram. They put limits on it. They accept it sometimes. Other times Twitch doesn't accept it.
So crazy. Contracts are confusing, to be
Yeah.
honest. Kudos to you for knowing how to read them without your brain melting by the second page.
Hire a lawyer. They
Well,
like
There you
this
go.
stuff for some god awful reason.
Right?
Contracts are fun for me. So-
My favorite thing is they're going between lawyers with their preferred wording.
Mm.
Super side note, that always makes me laugh when one lawyer will bring a contract to us and we'll send it to ours, and then he'll come back and he'll be like, I want it to be these exact words because that's what makes me happy. And then the other lawyer comes back and they're like, but no, that doesn't make us happy, so how about we do these words? And then they just turn it into a whole completely new sentence, and then finally everyone's happy. But it's just so funny that I like to use this word to describe this, not this one.
Noah, what do you add to all your contracts?
I wasn't going to bring that up because I didn't know if you could say that or not.
I can say, and just as a side note
If
there,
he can't say it, I'll say it.
just a side note there, I've actually done that with your lawyer, Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, but I also, again, didn't want to bring up anything that I couldn't.
So funny. So one thing I add to all my contracts is there's something called a force majeure clause, which is in the event of a catastrophe and somebody can't perform, it's suspended for a length of time, like 30 days. So normally it's like, a hurricane, a tornado, pandemic. I like to add in zombie apocalypse because you always want to be sure. And I've also been lately adding in. They always have a war or domestic terrorism act. I like to add an extraterrestrial or terrestrial war, just to be make sure we're good for aliens.
When my lawyer pointed that out to us, because I knew that you did that, because I think you and I had talked before, he pointed out and he's like, do we want to fight him on this? And I said, no, just let him have it.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I can't really perform under a zombie attack.
You really
But do
can't.
you have a zombie survival plan? Because we do in this house.
We do.
We do.
Mhm.
Wait,
Yes.
y'all, hang on. I gotta go.
Do you not have a?
No.
Have you never read the zombie survival guide? I'll send you my
I'll
copy.
send you a copy.
Oh, I'm getting lots of copies. This one's for Noah. This one's for Sam. And now they
I'll
kiss.
write my name in the front. I got it as a joke for Ben, and then he read it, and he's like, I know the likelihood of this is really low, but you never know. And we probably should have an idea. We used to live next to a mall in an apartment, and our plan was to grab all of our stuff and go to the sporting goods store and hunker down. We went to the sporting goods store, found the spot that we would hunker down with all the ammunition.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
And we were 2 blocks away, so we could get there real fast.
That's a heck of a date.
That's a date indeed.
Oh
We
yeah,
like how
I'm
we've,
ready. We
digressed.
have bug out kits and 72-hour kits to kind of sum everything up before we come back around into more insanity and craziness. Is right now, which can do better, and I think the whole Twitch do better is we're expecting them. We need to be demanding by saying Twitch can do better because they're doing very little to nothing right now. It definitely sucks. I'm going to grab, Cheese did do a little comprehensive list of the things, Calamity, that you were talking about, from Commander Root and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I'm going to drop his link to that tweet in chat here. So that way, if anybody,
Thank you.
clicking on it, if anybody is interested, go there, and he has a couple different lists of 310,000 bots, right? And then here's another 500,000 more users to block.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's too much to expect your creators to take care of, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's going to look at that list and they're going to say, oh man, I just hope it's not me. And they're not going to do it because that's a lot of work to feel safe at your job,
Mhm.
right? If this kind of, sorry, go ahead.
No, I will say, just like as because I this happened to a couple creators I know, if you do use the Commander Root tool, be very, very careful about the filters that you use because some people have deleted all of their followers, unfortunately, by
Oh,
using it.
okay.
So pay close
Thank you.
attention to what you do because it's a great tool, but just be conscious of how you use it. Just make sure you're not deleting all of your followers because that has had unfortunately happened
Ooh, that sucks. Find
to some
somebody
people.
that's done it successfully and have them walk you through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby steps.
Baby
Dang,
But I
thank you
mean,
for
you
letting us
wouldn't.
know because I probably would have
Yeah.
butchered it.
Yeah, you
Approach it
wouldn't
very
expect this.
carefully.
Let's say you were working in an office job and you were getting harassed. You wouldn't expect to have to deal with it yourself. You would go to HR and you would say, hey, this is happening. And HR is there not to technically protect the humans, even though it's human resources, it's there to protect the business. And the business is going to be like, yeah, okay, bye, see you later.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do something to protect the face of their business. And right now, Twitch has zero human resources available
Yeah.
to us. And I think a lot of the times Twitch forgets that the 1% of streamers does not provide 99% of their income.
Right.
That they need to focus on the 99% and let the 1% ride what they're riding now.
Yeah, and not focus on the smaller or people of color, marginalized once a special month.
Yes.
Ugh.
And also
Well,
not to tell
Love
people
that
to not
for
use the
them.
tags that they created because people are asking for them. Because if I feel like Twitch is sometimes blaming people for using tags.
It's so frustrating too, because when the tags came out, so many like Black people, because hate raids happen all the time, and like LGBTQIA community were like, so how are you going to protect us? That was one of the questions that came out when these tags were introduced. They were like, great. How are you going to protect us? Because this is going to be such an easy way to be attacked. And now look what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's not
literally
like
waving
this
a
is
large
new.
flag.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
whenever
frustrating.
I became a Twitch ambassador, I was able to have it was me and another creator who were basically in front of a panel of like a bunch of people at Twitch, like significant people asking, what can we do? And also, this is what we are doing. And one of my biggest questions to them, and this was months ago, this was like April. And I was asking them about word filters and the fact that nothing has changed. And we talked like face to face about this. It's frustrating. It is absolutely frustrating. You've had more than enough time. You have incredibly smart people on your team who can figure things out. I just feel like they don't care or want to. And it's frustrating because they're always saying they're listening. I talked to you and you didn't listen.
Yeah.
I feel like,
So-
and we have to remember because they're a big business, they have parent businesses above them that
Yeah.
are having to watch their every moves and stuff like that too. I expect 6 to 8 weeks before something can happen that's a big change. That's roughly how long it took for the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category to come out. And that was after one of the largest creators lost their ad
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
And so they're like, wait, now we really have to do something because we're missing money now. So what's it going to take to basically be like, hey, you're going to be missing a lot of money because these content creators that are getting these hate raids are not, they're eventually going to get to the point where they don't want to stream. But
Well,
they have to sometimes.
I got the survey that they sent out yesterday.
I did too. I haven't filled it
yeah.
out yet.
That said, you've been specially selected. I was like, I'm not special.
Oh, isn't
and-
it, you get like a $5 Amazon gift card or something? for
Yeah,
filling it
yeah.
out?
If they can give me $5 Amazon gift card, I'd much rather just give it to a creator. The end result of it though was it was a lot of questions saying, "What have you heard about Twitch lately? Have you like heard bad things? Do you think we're supporting you enough? Do you like us?" And at the end, I just there was a comment section. I said, "There's not a single mention of a hate raid in this survey. You need to be upfront and just ask." I think it's going to take somebody leaving the platform and stating this is part of the reason for them to actually do it.
Haven't there been higher up Twitch employees that have been recently leaving?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like a lot.
Mhm.
Losing Sarah Clemens is going to be one of the hardest
I don't
things
want
for
to lose
Twitch.
her.
I can't talk too
There's
much about that.
No, no, you're fine.
I think
there
one
is
thing
a
that'll
lot
oh, sorry.
of change coming in
Yeah.
the whole streaming world, in the whole
Mhm.
content creation world, not just Twitch. There is a lot of change coming.
Mhm.
Twitch has been on top for the longest time, and I think that's given them a little bit of a big head.
Yep.
They've been the popular kid at the table for a while, and other people are noticing that they're not getting the support that they need. So they're going to
Yeah.
go somewhere else. And some other platform, some other website is going to say, hey, we'll support you. Will you come hang
Mhm.
out with us? But then you have to be careful that eventually, if that website becomes too big, they're not going to be able to do your 90-10 split forever.
Mhm.
And they might have to be like, oh, sorry, guys. Starting this day, we're going to have to do 70-30. And you're still going to be like, oh, okay, at least it's not 50-50. And that's
Yeah.
like the sucky thing is that businesses start out with one intention, it changes into another thing, and then eventually they either love it or they don't. For example, OnlyFans just is banning any sexually explicit content.
They are gonna lose all of their revenue.
Yeah.
Wild.
It was
Literally the
so
reason
crazy.
people
And it's
went
because
there.
advertisers
Yeah.
advertisers didn't want to advertise on a website that is showing sexually explicit stuff.
It just sucks because sex work is real work, and those workers now have been losing their platform.
So where are they going to go?
Exactly, because Fan House is safe for work. So they can't go there. They can't come to Twitch. Twitter doesn't have a good monetization thing. Do they still have that? Like you can tip to a page or something?
Oh.
I don't know what
Probably.
that is.
You can
Um,
monetize on
forgot
Twitter,
about
but it's
that.
not very good. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's decent.
Yeah, it's there. There's a lot that's wrong with what they're doing. Also, Kalam, we cut you off earlier. What were you wanting to add? Now you got to
That's a
think
good
about it. Come
question.
on.
That's a
On the
good
spot. On the
question.
spot.
I'll think of it in a bit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Cool.
I've been
Uh,
like listening and like because now like the OnlyFans thing is just really like set me off a few days ago. I went off about that to my partner. I was like, how could they? They are making all of their
No.
money and now they're just gonna like I don't see how they're gonna
I'm curious the
survive.
breakdown. What's the breakdown of sex workers on OnlyFans compared to? Because that's the only thing I know of that people go to OnFans for.
Pretty
Yeah.
It
sure.
has to be their biggest income.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DJ Khaled has an OnlyFans, and that's it.
The rest is sex workers.
You know what? Good. That's the thing is like I want OnlyFans
Yeah.
to kind of feel it. It's so funny that people are doing Fan House, so Fan House has a leg up on OnlyFans right now. Because if OnlyFans is cutting not safe for work content, then people are like, okay, well, I already have a Fan House, so why would I
Mhm.
go to OnlyFans when you've already showed me that you're not going to support me as a creator? Oh, that sounds familiar for this episode. Anyways,
Mm.
and
Huh.
then but like OnlyFans, I think will just turn into paid Instagram. Like,
Mm.
okay, I get Instagram for free. I'd much rather support somebody on Fan House and support the sub off Twitch movement, which is something I dove into today. Shout out to Wreck-It Raven on Twitter for highlighting that.
Shout out to Wreck-It Raven.
Yeah, and but sub off Twitch is becoming much more of a thing through Fan House, Coffee, all the stuff we were talking about, Patreon. These other platforms that give you more of a cut than Twitch does. Twitch,
So
do
I
better.
guess, Sam, when you were saying that it's taking you less time to create content, that makes sense because if you're streaming for 8 hours to try to get, X amount viewers that
Bare
come
minimum,
through,
yeah.
when
Mhm.
you have a curated group of people on Fan House that you can spend 30 minutes creating content and it's going to sit there and people are going to see it because they're paying money for it,
Mhm.
that I guess the only
Yeah.
thing that is the recruitment process.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
it is a little difficult just because, as with anything where there's a subscription service, you have to convince people to subscribe for your content, and is your content worth
Mhm.
it? The best thing that I have found because of Fan House is that I can do my day-to-day stuff and post about it. I can post my workouts. I can post my
Mm.
art. I can post my daily affirmations and have like a group chat with my subscribers and things like that. And it feels more personal and more me because I'm not on screen live, talking for 8 hours, hurting my throat, needing to be absolutely bubbly, and then as soon as the cameras go off, it's just I'm exhausted, but I'm not exhausted with Fan House 'cause it's my normal stuff, and
Mhm.
I feel more appreciated on there, if that makes sense. The community managers and things like that are already incredible, and it is a smaller platform, I will have to say,
Mhm.
but they're able to communicate well what's going on so far, and I appreciate that. So I want that from the platform that got me into this industry. I have loved Twitch, but right now it's hard to like them.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's a
It's
well said.
definitely,
Well said.
yeah, it's definitely hard when you hear people say that, like, I bleed purple. You shouldn't be
Why?
so attached to something like that. You should be okay that if something goes south, that you're able to go bleed another color somewhere else, kind of thing.
Yeah. Bleed red,
Or
which is the
blue.
color you
Especially
normally bleed.
Right?
which is YouTube.
right.
People say that's YouTube. It's like, "No, my blood is actually red." I don't
It's
Ah.
really that color. And I think something else, like as you were talking about, Sam, is a lot of like these other platforms are more accessible to people who do deal with like disabilities and such, where getting on
Yes.
camera and like putting on makeup if you're femme presenting generally and stuff, a lot of that is really difficult for people, which is why like VTubing has started becoming popular and stuff. But platforms like Fan House are making it easy for people to share themselves without having to, like, I guess, dress up and turn on, I guess, because that's what I have to do. Because I'm autistic, so
Yep.
my energy levels are very set. You know, once I run out of spoons, I'm done. And things like Fan House are very tempting and very, you know, interesting, especially because they don't take as much. So
No,
for
you get
Twitch, you're
so much
putting
more.
in exactly, you're putting in so much work to only pay it 50% back. And then with Fan House, you're just kind of posting your everyday, having people around that really appreciate you and enjoy what you do,
Mhm.
and it's more accessible.
Yeah.
Also, we love spoon talk
It's
around here.
nice. We
I
do.
love
Yeah.
spoon talk.
My
We
problem
spoon
with my
talk all the time.
spoons, I lose my spoons and I
I
don't
lose my
stop.
spoons.
Like, I keep going after I lose my spoons
Yes,
because I have
yes.
to, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I found a way
So
to
I
get
never have
more
time to get more.
spoons.
Usually friends will offer me a spoon, and I appreciate those friends. Thank you.
I have a
Yes.
silverware of spoons for my friend. I have a silverware drawer of spoons for my friends, and I don't really give myself very many. And my wife yells at me about that. So
Yes.
Mm.
Ugh,
Ben always makes
Imma
the
yell at
comment
you
that you need to
too.
have a full set of spoons for yourself, right?
Yeah.
As in like a full set of silverware. You're not gonna you're gonna keep your 8 spoons to sit at your 8-person table kind of thing, or whatever you buy them in. And then
Mhm.
you need to find additional spoons, or you can let friends borrow your spoons, but you better expect that spoon back, otherwise you're not gonna have a complete set anymore. And I was like, why are you so smart?
Wow.
Oh,
very.
Such a
someone's
good way to
asking
put
what
it.
the spoon theory is.
Ah,
It's
yes.
Oh.
it's mainly for, well, I mean, not mainly at all, but a lot of people
That's
use
my
it for
sister-in-law.
chronic
I'll
illness.
explain to you a little bit more later too. But
Do it.
spoon talk, spoon theory is I'll pull up the website later for you, Turtle Kitten. But basically, the idea of when you have a chronic illness or just energy in general, but it stemmed from someone with a chronic illness, that lifting a spoon is too heavy.
Mhm.
That your energy is so low that you can't lift a spoon. And that kind of, it was written beautifully about it, and it kind of turned into, in the chronic disease and chronic illness world, as a way to express your lack of energy,
Yeah.
or needing more energy, or uplifting, or an easy way to ask for help. So if you're like, I need more spoons today, as an easy way without being like, I need help, because sometimes it's really hard to ask for help.
Mhm.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I'll find the spoon theory.
It's a much easier way, instead of being like, I don't know, because you don't always, it's hard to have to tell everyone like your problems all the time. It's hard to be like, oh, I'm this and that, and so I don't
Yeah.
have this. To be able to say, I don't have the spoons for this today. Can we, like, schedule another day? Or I need some help. I don't have enough spoons for this. Can you help me take over that? It's just such a great way to communicate with other people. Uh
Yeah, because then they
Mhm.
kinda
that you
know,
don't.
like, it's nice. It's an easy explanation without delving into private matters, and you're just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Mhm.
So spoon theory, use it. It's wonderful. I
Use
promise.
it.
Here's the original
Uh,
because
oh,
it's
thank you.
definitely spanned from into mental health. It's
Mm-hmm.
being used everywhere, but it started out with somebody that has a chronic illness, an invisible illness. So
Yeah.
Mhm. Why can't we just be direct and say no? Because that's not easy for everybody.
You don't want to feel because no doesn't really give. I guess like for somebody like me, I can't just say no. I can't just be like, no, I can't do that because I feel like then they could go, oh, because they don't like me, oh, because they don't care, you know.
Mhm.
When I talk about spoons, it's kind of going, it's not that I don't want to, it's not that I don't care, it's that I physically or like just mentally can't do that.
Yeah.
Um and I
yeah,
think it
sometimes no sounds like a door slamming.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
for somebody who's very anxious, it feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a better explanation. It's softer
Mhm.
too. Like you feel better doing it, and a lot of times people who get it will understand, and
Mhm.
they take that pretty well.
But don't be afraid to
Yeah.
say no to people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what
There
I was gonna chime in with.
Sometimes you gotta say no.
Sometimes you
yes,
do
there are
gotta
moments for
slam the
no.
door. Such as, when Twitch is saying that they can't help do anything about hate raids. You can.
You
Yeah.
No,
can.
you're wrong. Ha, see
You
what I did there?
you can do it.
Aha.
Maybe we should just have a whole spoon theory conversation.
Oh my god, please.
I love spoon
Future
theory so
episode, we're
much.
gonna find spoonies, fellow spoonies,
Spoonies.
and we'll bring on and talk about spoon theory. We can read the spoon
I'll bring
theory.
my golden spoon. I have a
Yeah.
long golden spoon to stir my coffee. It's my favorite spoon.
I found, and I
Golden spoon
haven't
now.
ordered this yet, but I have this idea for friends that are fellow spoonies to order spoons. You can get spoons that are like engraved and like stamped and stuff like that, and sending
Oh.
spoons to friends that need them. Just feel like
So
that,
nice.
Oh.
and then it ties into the whole you let a friend borrow a spoon, or it's just a pass it on spoon. You never keep it. The next time that you have a friend that is having a hard time and needs extra spoons, you give them the spoon and explain to them what it is, and they can pass it on to somebody. And Ben and I did that with a children's book. We got given "Go the Fuck to Sleep" from from
When you
friends.
hear children's book, you're not expecting these words to come out.
Gifted that
They
book,
do.
and when Charlie was a newborn, and we read that to him as he was a newborn because at night your kid doesn't understand what you're saying when they're 2 weeks old, but you're about ready to scream because you're so tired. When we the Samuel L. Jackson version of it is so good. But what we did is we wrote our names and Charlie's name inside the book, and we gave it to a friend that was expecting a baby. And we asked them to read this book until they didn't feel comfortable reading it to their kid anymore, sign their name into it, and pass it on to another friend that's going to have a
That's
baby.
so awesome.
I know
I
personally
love
that it's
that.
gone through at least 4 couples past us.
That's
Outside
great.
of that, I lost track of it. But it's just one of those things that like sometimes, and we kind of considered that a spoon to pass on to another friend in that form. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go on Etsy today and I'll get a spoon or a few to send out. So
Yeah, I
Did
was
you
I was
see
just
me
thinking.
searching spoons? No, you didn't.
I was just thinking I had the wood shop and I got some nice cedar that I might just go make a spoon and send it around.
Do it.
yeah, see, and it's just like it's such a good thing, and you just if you give it to somebody and then it just sits there until they need it. It gives them that encouragement, and then they find a friend that needs it, and then they can pass it on, and it might just sit there for years. Who knows? And maybe someone needs to keep it forever. Who knows?
Yeah.
Mod spoons?
Speaking of encouragement, if you, because of everything difficult that's going around on our platform, and honestly, it's not only on Twitch, there are hate problems amongst many platforms, but if you could encourage or give advice to any creators that are going through this, what would you say? Clam, Noah, Sam.
If somebody who's dealing with specifically hate raids, I'll just go straight into it. If someone's dealing with hate raids, first of all, know how to shut it down in real time because that's going to be your first line of defense.
Mhm.
Um, Secondly, make sure that you have a way to record your chat. So like through Nightbot's chat logging and stuff like that, so that you can go to an attorney or a legal counsel that is well versed in the space, or if they're not well versed in the space, can at least help you. Because your next step would be to potentially do something that can allow you to get those subpoena records and whatnot, so you can put username to a face or IP to a face. It's not always going to work, and but if you have as much information as possible, if they're going to come into your chat and give you a thread to find them, pull it, because if you can find who's doing this, then you can make a difference to stop them. Um, but first and foremost, protect your house.
Mhm.
Take care of yourself, know how to deal with it, and get allies on your side because it's going to get worse before it gets better, I think. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm happy to be a resource. There's there's other lawyers. Ryan Fairchild's an amazing resource in the space. And so I think that get someone on your side, and then either they will help you. Um,
That's really important stuff.
I agree with all
Thank you.
that. I think education is the number one thing that we can help other people on how to protect yourself, protect your stream. It's sad to say protect yourself because you know it may be coming. That's so frustrating,
Yeah.
and it's something that as a white cis woman, I have a very low chance of that happening to me. And it sucks so bad because not sucks because I want to experience it, but it just sucks that I know that I don't have to wake up when I hit go live and fear that. And I think that's why having these good conversations, finding people like Calamity that has information to share, and then finding like people like Cheese that I got that list and everything, and Record Raven I know has been putting out a lot of good information and stuff like that.
So
Cipher Tier has
much.
been putting out a lot of good information too. Finding those people to educate yourself, especially if you don't think that you are potentially going to be on that list,
yeah.
Mhm.
especially people like me, educating myself so that way I can be there as a support and an ally and speak up, um, when more voices. I think is more voices the better, more education the better,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
hopefully eventually we can stop it. um,
Hopefully.
I hope.
Yeah.
And it's so discouraging because I'm assuming it's the same process for finding somebody that does hate rates as it is someone that does swatting.
It
And
is.
Mhm.
we hired a private investigator for 6 months after it happened to us, and got nothing. And
That's so frustrating.
it
I
definitely I see
without
Noah, I see you were thinking about saying something.
Yeah, without going too far into it, and without dating the dates that happened with you guys, Twitch has resources now that
Good,
they can call on to help with swatting.
good.
Um, and however, it does require legal counsel.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel like that if we don't get these hate raids under control, the next step is going to be another surge of swatting.
It's
Yeah,
already started.
Is it
yeah, it
started
has.
already
Has
from
it?
like stemming from the
Raven.
hate raids?
Yeah, Raven
Raven
got
got
Wreck-It Raven got doxxed.
Doxed.
Okay,
As part of the messages that were being dropped in chat.
gotcha. Raven, if you
However,
are still in chat and you want to talk to somebody that's experienced that kind of stuff too, please let me know. Reach out to me. I don't have my messages on, but if you follow me, I'll follow you, and then and if you need someone to talk to about that kind of stuff too, just to talk.
Yeah. And as
Yeah.
a quick thing of advice for people who don't know, streamers, as I mentioned earlier, have it available to them to where they can go and block things. Block your address. That is, those are words that you need to block in any form that you can. Block significant things next to you. I have to block my son's school. I have to
Mm.
block like his dance academy, things like that. And just to make sure that there is that extra element of safety because I have also been doxxed via my chat when I was a very, very small creator. Thank God there was like very little people in there and people who cared, so it was fine. But it does happen more than you think, and it doesn't matter what size creator you are. People love to hate, and they will find a way to try to get in your head. And a lot of times it is by giving away your personal information. So please be very mindful of that and be very careful. But yeah, it's so frustrating that this is going on. This is still going on. It's been going on the 6 years that I've been on Twitch. It's just now people are louder than ever, and it shouldn't take people getting loud for things to get fixed.
Right.
And-
it should just be something that we should expect protection from.
Protection should be vital.
Protecting yourself against swatting doesn't mean it's not going to happen either.
Exactly.
You can do all the protection in the world and your chat won't know, but somebody can still find it. For example, I have a client who, and I can talk about this just as long as I don't identify the client in this case, but I have a client who has been swatted twice on stream. And all chat thinks is that they went to the bathroom for a very long time because they turned off their mic and they turned off their camera.
Nobody knew for ours until the third time, and Ben told them to told chat. We kept ours very, very private and close to the chest. Somebody was asking what is swatting and what is doxing. Doxing is where your private information is leaked in a public space. What?
I switched them on accident in my brain.
Okay. I was like, wait, no.
No, you didn't. I was like, oh.
Okay. I was like, did I say it? Because in my head, I was thinking that. And then swatting is where somebody will put in a fake call to the police saying XYZ is happening at your home. I'm totally open talking about ours. In our situation, Ben had stabbed me. And another one, Ben had taken myself, Charlie, and another kid in the neighborhood hostage. And the third time, I was shot to death and shoved in a closet. And then we moved, and then they didn't reveal any of the reasonings after that. Oh, one time I did something to Ben. They switched it up.
Oh.
That was after
He had
moved.
it coming.
best ever. Oh my God. But every single time
from Chicago, let me say,
Yes.
it's a joke.
the song stuck in my head. Now I have to go watch
Why
Chicago.
did
now.
I'm gonna
you
have
do
If you would
that?
have been there. If you would have
If you would have
seen
seen
it.
it.
Oh, true.
But
Wow.
it is definitely scary. Thankfully for mine, we used to live in a split level house. I jumped over the railing down about 10 stairs to get to Ben because I saw the lights in our living room. I knew what was happening because we had a pizza tried to be delivered to us the night before and we turned it away, which was our mistake on doing that. Because that confirms that, usually
It's your
confirms that
address.
that's your address, is they'll deliver a pizza or something like that. And I jumped over, ran downstairs, and had to calmly go in there and just pull Ben's headphones away and be like, hey, the police are here. And he's like, all right, I'll be up in a minute to help you out. And that's what he said on stream. I calmly walked until I was out of camera. Then I sprinted upstairs and whipped the door open. They had to have heard me jump because they were banging on the door and yelling and telling that if I didn't open the door, they were going to come in. And I opened the door to 2 guns pointing at my face. So that's how many times we swatted. We were swatted 3 times in 1 month. Our old address has been swatted a total of 10 times. So
That's just so scary because not that your situation isn't scary, but especially for like Black and marginalized
yes,
creators.
Yeah.
100%. It sucks to say that I am privileged with having a gun pointed to my head, but I am. I am 100% privileged with having a gun pointed to my head. And that sucks.
I'm so sorry you had to do
That sucks a lot. And so a lot of people you say or see online that they just say that hate rates are nothing and that they're just joking and they're not going to turn anything to big. This is what happens when they turn into something big, is that you have somebody's life disrupted. And again, I am so lucky that I lived in a mostly white neighborhood in a very nice part of town, and I am a white woman. And I they told me to put my hands down and open the door, and I was like, no, I'm giving you permission to come in here. I'm not moving until you put your guns away, please. And it just sucks, and I just want to hug everybody else that I know that potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And
It sucks.
it's one of those things where it's an unfortunate reality. It's something that Twitch should prepare you for in a quote unquote safety kit once you start streaming, because I've had the conversations with local PDs for hundreds of my clients.
They don't care.
They don't care unless you're in
Gosh.
Seattle. Seattle actually
Yeah,
has a
it's-
registry of celebrities and streamers. This is recent.
Mm.
That the PD is required to check before issuing SWAT or similar orders. And
We're
that
on a
is,
list.
yeah.
So if our name ever even our new address, if our name ever comes up, they still have to come do a well check, but they only send one car.
Mhm.
But even when we moved, I had to report to a different district. What is that what it's called? Right? When
Yeah,
your city
district,
split up
police
district.
district,
I
yeah.
had to report to a different district. And you want to know what they told me? Maybe your husband shouldn't play video games anymore if it's that big of a deal. And I said, this is his job. And they're like, well, can't he find a different job?
Jesus.
And I was
I'm
like, can I
shaking.
talk to somebody else?
Is there anyone else?
Oh my gosh.
God.
I'm so angry. I'm shaking.
It's so, I mean, don't, I would
Like, I'm
take
angry
it
for
10
you,
million
that's-
times if I could save people of color and marginalized streamers.
Nobody
that-
should have to deal with
Nobody
this
should, but
at
I will gladly
all.
take it. I will gladly
No,
take it.
it's so. Nobody should have to deal with this. And that's why when people say, oh, like, you should expect to get abuse on Twitch when you come on here, you should just be able to take it. You should just be able to deal with it. Like, there's just bullies. Bullies can become a huge, huge problem for exactly this reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, I mean,
Can you
and it
imagine
happens to
getting bullied at your
everybody.
regular office job.
Yeah,
You know?
it happens to,
Yeah.
to everybody. I mean, Ben gets bullied all the time because he's so white and he looks tired and stuff like that, but he feels like he can't say anything because he's so privileged being a white cis man. Like, and it sucks. And it sucks that everybody, no matter who you are, should be expected to just be okay with getting shit on.
Yeah.
But at least he has protection of who was born to be, right? Like,
There's on that note, and Bruiser asked this in chat, in states that have your info publicly available, how can you make your address private? Texas is like that, where you can basically find anyone's info with the right knowledge of where to look. It's difficult. It's something that I work with a lot of clients on. It's you can help protect yourself through certain aspects of LLC setup. Obviously, everything I'm saying here is not specific legal advice. It's for informational purposes only. You should always check with your individual lawyer. But Texas is really difficult for a state that quote unquote prides itself on liberties and whatnot. They sure do like to have a lot of interference in personal lives, as long as it's I've said too much there. Anyways, but
it's very difficult. End of story
it's
for
very
that.
difficult. It's very
Yeah.
difficult, but it's doable. But keep in mind that once the information's on the internet, you can't pull it back. So we can limit the exposure, but you can't remove it.
The biggest things that we tell people, and this is coming, obviously, I am not a lawyer, and so I can just give my own personal experience, is to scrub everything you can, lock down everything you can. Facebook is one of the easiest places to find information for people because it is one of the longest standing social media websites that we have out there. Go through all of your friends lists. If you're not currently or haven't talked to them in the past year, delete them, get rid of them. Put everything on lockdown. Contact your police force just in case somebody happens to listen to you and tell them who you are and what you do and things that have happened, even if it's the tiniest thing. We were able to trace one kid on Instagram that leaked our address on Instagram, and we deleted it, and I was able to find out that he lives 3 blocks from me. And I was so tempted to go down and talk to his daddy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I found another kid that he sent some very sexually explicit stuff to me, and I easily found his mother and screenshotted it sent it to her. Ben has called parents before from finding out from kids and just said, hey, I don't know if you know me, but my name is Benjamin Lupo, and I go by Dr. Lupo on Twitch, and I stream video games, and your kid watches me, and I just wanted to let you know from one parent to another, this was said. And one parent profusely apologized. He's done it 2 or 3 times. And I mean, if nobody's policing these kids on, or like watching over these kids on how dangerous this could be, then
Yeah. How many of these kids are being influenced to be a part of these hate raids because
right?
it seems fun?
Like, because they're not all bots, are they?
I
No.
wouldn't. I would
Y-
assume some are real.
Some are
You-
going into chats and like testing how much access they have to it before sending in the raid.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like they'll
Ben
send like
was
weird
saying, watch
messages
out
just to see if
because-
they show up.
Yeah, Ben was saying, watch out because we're talking about this today, that we might get one. And I was like, bring it. I will take them
Yeah.
on and I will destroy them to the ground because I have access to all the things.
Yeah.
So if anyone starts typing test.
Well, that's the thing. They go and they say, "Hey, what's up?" Usually.
Yeah.
You see
which is-
hello world.
Yeah, which is I'm a mod in a few chats and I look for that
Sam,
stuff.
stop.
No.
Quest.
Sam's a mod.
Quest.
No.
I want to go on a quest. Sam, you're the worst.
Where?
Oh,
Blessed.
blessed. Yeah,
Um,
Sam, your lawyer's
yeah.
present. Don't do anything you can get in.
Oh no, that's fine. My lawyer will protect me. Right?
I'm
Ah,
gonna have my lawyer call your lawyer.
I actually
I'll
think
have
I
my
have a
people
call
call
from
your
later
people.
today.
You
Okay,
have
so
called
our
my lawyer
girls,
later.
we have a problem right now.
Tell him I say hi.
Somebody
Tell
clip
him
this and
I
send it
say
to him.
hi too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the whole Twitch community should be watching this. I really do hope that talking today has shed some real serious spotlights on stuff. I know that we've joked here and there, like test and quest and blessed and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes you need to break the ice a little bit. Otherwise, we're just gonna be sitting here and crying the whole entire time.
yeah.
But
These are heavy conversations.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we've been known to have quite a few heavy conversations in the past 9 months.
Yeah.
Is there any last thing that either one of you want to say before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I will say the people who have spearheaded this with the most recent raids, especially Wreck-It Raven, make sure you're listening to them. Make sure you are understanding that while this is a problem that a lot of people are dealing with right now, it's a lot of Black and LGBTQIA creators who are being attacked. And if we don't nip it here, it's going to grow into much worse and against more people. And just because right now they're going against easy targets, and I say easy targets because unfortunately these people are smaller streamers, so they're like, oh, no one's going to do anything. So speak up now. I know there's a lot of stuff going around like, oh, like people are saying, oh, I don't know why you'd speak up about this because you're never going to get partnered if you're a creator and you're speaking up about this. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that at all. Especially if this is something you want to get into, make sure that you get into something that's going to treat you well and treat you correctly. So speak up about it. And then also take breaks. Don't doom scroll all day. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Step away, watch something that makes you laugh. Big on self-care here. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself through all of this. I know, Raven, but honestly, like I'm looking at chat right now, but you of all people is all I'm gonna say. You're incredible. Y'all, could I shout Raven out? Just
Yes,
Please
please
do.
do.
Yeah.
Raven,
Can
like even
everyone
before
follow?
this,
I'm gonna go grab your
has
Twitter quick.
always advocated for marginalized communities, especially the Black community, especially the LGBTQIA community. So the fact that this is happening and that them speaking out about it is making them get even more hate is so disgusting. It's disgusting. And it makes me so upset that such a kind person who just has so much love and care for people is getting attacked in this way. It makes me livid. I'm like, I could go off. But yeah, Raven
Calamity,
has
do you
been
think
a
you could do us a
superhero.
favor? Is do you think you could help us by giving us a few names like Record Ravens and stuff like that that we can put out on the Magic Word Twitter of just
I will
like
definitely do that.
resources, and then we'll post it and then we'll retweet it from mine and Sam's from Twitters and stuff like that. If you even after this, or if you just want to send me a message
Yeah.
on Twitter,
Yeah,
with
and
just a
that's
few
also
names.
a big thing with like what Sam's saying. If you are somebody who's not really as affected by this, you still have a voice and you can elevate these voices on social media. It doesn't matter your platform or how many people you have. Do a retweet. Please don't quote retweet. Just, please don't do that. Let their
Just
voices
retweet.
be heard.
Yeah. And
You can
also,
comment on it, but
yeah, at the
yeah.
same time, though, if you don't feel ready or educated enough to know what you're talking about, it's okay to take a moment.
Mhm.
Just don't sit there with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, don't
Soak it
ignore
in.
it.
I mean, this is the same kind of stuff back with Black Lives Matter and everything that we've just been dealing with in the past couple of years. A lot of people get called out for being silent. And a lot of the times it's because they're not paying attention. But there are those people out there that are trying to soak it in and they process things in a different time frame. So give them a moment. Don't demand stuff from people that they might just need a second.
Yeah.
Putting that out there because that's something that we get pushed on us quite a bit, and sometimes it just takes a minute, right? And so was me taking a minute, and now I'm ready after talking today to scream
Yeah.
with everybody else. So
Open up the void.
yes.
And on that note, it's not just it's boosting the voices and getting that out there, retweeting, but also on the practical side, these hate raids affect the bottom line for these people who are trying to make money. So if they get sponsored posts, interact with them. Like if they go in there, find their fan houses, direct people, like make sure you get that out there.
You have no idea how much money swipe ups on Instagram posts and stories make you.
Yeah.
Anytime a friend has a sponsored post, I even if I'm not interested, I just swipe up, let it sit there for 5 seconds, close it, and I know that it counts, and it gives them so much more money.
What were you saying, Kalam?
Just like a
Darling, I
thought.
love you.
No, I have to raise my hand or I will forget. It will leave my
smart.
brain. It's a tactic that I use. Raising my hand is for me.
Love it.
But please don't just interact with marginalized streamers and creators when they're having problems. Please celebrate their joys.
Oh my gosh,
Please
yes.
celebrate their sponsorships. Please, when they have success, celebrate that too. Give as much interaction to that as their trauma. We are not here to just talk about like this stuff all the time. Like we just want to play video games, man. Like we just
That's all we all want to do.
we just
Yeah.
want to
That's all we
play
wanna
video
do.
games
We
and
all
be
just-
goofy and laugh on the internet with everybody else. And the fact that I have to be black first no matter where I go it gets tiring.
Yeah.
You know?
I see Milady Confetti
it's
talk a lot
tiring.
about that too.
Yeah,
like, a
my
lot
lady
of her
confetti
posts
talks a
get
lot.
Yeah, because her posts get boosted a lot of times when it's talking about the fact that she's black. But whenever she does her awesome cosplays or gets these amazing sponsorships, they get less interaction, and that's frustrating. And watching her talk about this has opened my eyes as well, because unfortunately, there are a lot of times where posts don't show up in feeds unless they are usually those ones because they get interacted with a lot more. So let's make sure we boost all of them so that everybody's getting seen the way that they deserve and not just in their moment of pain, because that's not fair.
Yeah.
I have to sneeze.
I was gonna say
We're
I
here for you
was seeing something similar with Cypher, for example. She was talking about celebrate my wins because I know that I announced this and y'all didn't interact with it as much as me talking about hate raids, and that puts money in my pocket at the end of the day. So like I've been making a point because I realized I was following marginalized creators and interacting with those posts, but going on and actually clicking to follow on Twitch when they're live and supporting elsewhere, that's something that I was failing to do. And so I've been trying to make a better effort, and I think everybody can.
Yeah, Twitch do better, streamers do better. You got this.
Just do better,
Everyone
dude.
Just do better.
Do better.
Yeah.
Just be
Everyone
excellent
just
to each
remember
other.
that we are all plants with just more complicated emotions.
Yeah.
We have to take care of ourselves. It's so 100% true. We
I
need
love
like
that quote
food
so
and
much.
water, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of those
Yeah.
plants, they get really dramatic if they're not in the sun, and they're like, "Ah, yes, the
Yeah,
sun
I
is
can go
out."
show you what I am most of the time. It's out on my mantle
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
like,
literally
"Oh."
dying right now.
Oh
It's
no.
completely unshaded.
But it just people are people, right? As long as they're not hurting themselves or somebody else, just let people do what they need to do. And right now, what these people with these hate raids and swattings and all that kind of stuff, they're hurting other people. So yeah, we're gonna dog on them until they go away or they
Yeah,
change their world or whatever. Just because you're one way or the other does not matter as long as you're not hurting anybody, right?
Yeah.
and
Like
also,
we just want to play games.
if things
So
aren't hurting
please.
you now specifically, it doesn't mean they won't
Mm,
hurt you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
It's not
So,
it's not over there. It's here.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
just
And
starting somewhere,
Yeah.
and we need to nip it in the bud.
It's
plant
almost
rate.
like, when you're at a concert and all of a sudden a mosh pit breaks out.
Mm,
Eventually, no matter how far away you are from that mosh pit, you're going to get pushed into. I think
Yeah.
that's the mosh pit is the insanity that's going on right now. And you might be in the very back, but eventually you're going to get shoved by somebody.
Yeah.
And it might
Yeah.
take a while. And it might not happen this mosh pit. It might happen at the next concert.
Yeah,
But
or like a fire, it starts in a kitchen, but eventually it'll make it upstairs to your bedroom
yep.
if you don't put it out quick.
Yep.
I liked your analogy better than mine. I was just trying
I
to
like both of them.
visually think of
No, I
the
like the
ripply.
punk rock now.
Yeah, I like
those
both
are
of them.
both great analogies.
The mosh pits are super safe and courteous. No, I got trampled on one and passed
Oh,
out.
I got decked at a mosh pit.
This is why I don't go to concerts.
Oh,
Just-
I got kicked in the head by
Young
somebody.
Sams were wild.
Yeah. I got kicked in the head by somebody and I passed out and I fell underneath and then my friend had to pull me out of underneath people's feet and
Oh
and got thrown and I woke up and I was like, what just happened? And my favorite song was playing at the concert and I was like, no, what just happened to me?
Oh no.
It was an all-time low concert, I bet.
no! Oh my gosh!
Hidden in
Was
Plain
it?
View was the band that was before them. Oh, I have to try to remember. I'm gonna try to remember which concert it was.
Good.
Oh my
Maybe I got
God.
kicked in the head in the right spot, but that memory is now gone. I just remember
I'll say-
buying a Hidden in Plain View t-shirt.
Sure.
Well, there you go. Well, this has been a very, very heavy conversation, but also extremely informative. And Sam and I are really grateful that we're not talking about it by ourselves
Mhm.
because there's only so much she and I can do. But having the legal side and Calamity, who is in this, and we appreciate y'all coming on, especially last minute. And
Yeah.
yeah, oh gosh, this has been a good episode. But could you tell us where to find you, Calamity?
Sure, yeah. I'm Calamity Darling on all the things, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, everything. That's pretty much
What do you
it.
mainly
I
stream?
better follow.
I mainly stream on weekends. Right now, I am doing a program where my schedule is a little all over the place. So just keep an eye on Twitter if you want to see when I'm going live. But typically, it's Wednesday through Saturday, and eventually, I will be doing more game dev on my channel. So I might be doing some morning coffee streams.
Nice.
And she's also been playing Final Fantasy, and I got to play with her, and she's really cute.
Oh my
and
gosh,
I
yes,
love
it was so fun.
it. It was so fun.
I love Final Fantasy. So yes, if you're into Final Fantasy 14, I want to talk to you. Okay.
Yes. And then Noah. your
Hi,
turn.
I'm Noah. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at my lawyer friend. TikTok, I literally have nothing except for 2 videos, one's of my wife and one's of my cat. But it's
Quality.
fun. It's good content.
Important.
And I only stream on Twitch for charity. I'm planning on doing that a lot more. We just did an All Lawyer Among Us stream this past Saturday, which was fun. We raised $2,000, over $2,000 for No Kid Hungry.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I also co-host the Allegedly podcast with Sam.
Oh, Sam, I
Seum.
didn't know.
Hey. And so-
Wow.
Oh, am I looking the right direction? Hold on.
Yeah, you were.
You
Yeah,
were,
it was,
you were.
yes.
And we actually just talked about doxing and swatting this past week. So but yeah, you can find me on all those places. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer for hire. But I'm also a friend. So that's why I'm my lawyer friend.
Yeah, he's a lawyer, but not
Um,
yet your lawyer. I see hi.
Sam, since this is not your channel and we do have a lot of new viewers today, tell us a little bit about your channel and then we will peace out.
Oh, I'm a family-friendly variety caster. I've been currently going through the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts series for the first time. I'm on KH3, and I will be continuing that right after this. Um, yeah, I'm Sam, and you can find me on all social medias. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Just Sam, JustSeum. Or I make exclusive content over on Fanhouse at fanhouse.app/Seum. That made it sound way more lewd than it is. It's not.
Little
Oh
But
my
it's
gosh.
fun.
Yeah,
Xbox.tv.
Hi, Mrs. Dr. Lupo. Welcome to my channel, Outside of the Magic Word. I basically don't stream very often, but I'm hoping to again soon now that my son's in school. But chill games, Sims, Animal Crossing, all that kind of jazz. But every single Friday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, you will find us here. Magic Word, we either do gaming, where we just hang out and chill and talk with you guys. Otherwise, we have these more formatted shows. If you want to watch old episodes, do the TMW command in chat, and that will get you to our YouTube. You guys can subscribe there. We put all of our episodes out up on YouTube, usually within a week from this one. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, the two of you, for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.